Okay, so Apple, right. They've really stirred things up this time. The AI rumor mill's been working overtime, and now we finally have something concrete. Apple Intelligence.
Yeah, and it really does feel like more than just, Siri with a new hat on.
Totally. This feels like a whole different ball game. Like they're really
Yeah.
weaving it into everything Apple. And we've got the press release hot off the digital press. Plus, luckily for us, our very own tech whiz is here to help us break it all down. So what's the deal with Apple Intelligence? What's the big problem they're trying to solve?
Well, the thing is, Apple isn't just adding features here. They're really going for a pretty fundamental change in how we interact with our tech. Imagine, like, your devices actually anticipating what you need.
Okay, I like the sound of that. But how do they actually pull that off? I saw the press release mentioned generative models. Is that the magic ingredient?
Yeah, basically, think of it this way. Remember those old school AI things, like basically just really smart parrots repeating stuff?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Generative models are different. They're more like, imagine a novelist who's just starting out. They take what they've learned and create something totally new from it. Text, code, even images. It's a whole new level of how our devices can help us out.
Okay, so we're not just talking about pre-programmed responses anymore. But let's get down to brass tacks. When can we actually expect to get our hands on this? When's the launch?
It's rolling out in stages. First up is U.S. English speakers. That's next month. Then by December, it'll be in other English-speaking countries. And then more languages next year.
So a targeted rollout. What's the thinking behind that?
Well, this level of AI, especially with the whole language aspect, it takes time. They're probably playing it safe, making sure it's smooth across different languages and accents, because accuracy is everything with this kind of system.
Makes sense. So listeners in the U.S., get ready. It's coming soon. But what about everyone else? Anyone feeling a little left out?
Don't worry, it's clear Apple's aiming for global domination, global reach. This phased approach is just them fine-tuning, making sure it's perfect for everyone in the long run.
Well, I'm already hooked. All right, so we've got the why and a taste of the how. But let's be real. What everyone wants to know is what this thing can actually do. And from the looks of this press release, they're not skimping on the features. So we've covered the why and got a taste of the tech, but what everyone wants to know is what this thing can actually do. And Apple's not holding back on the features.
No, not at all. And it's clear they're really focusing on where AI can make a real difference in our lives, everyday stuff, like starting with something I think we all struggle with, writing.
Oh, tell me about it. Emails, reports, even just a decent social media post, right? It's like a constant battle to get the words right.
Totally. And that's where Apple Intelligence comes in. So picture this. You're writing an email, and it's not quite there yet. Apple Intelligence can actually help you rewrite it. It can make it clearer, more concise, even adjust the tone, like more professional or more casual, depending on what you need.
Okay, that is handy. I can't tell you how many times I've hit send and then immediately thought of a better way to say something.
Right. And it's not just emails. Think about summarizing long documents or articles. Apple Intelligence can pull out the key points, which saves you so much time and energy. And this works across different apps, Mail, Notes, even potentially third-party apps later on.
Okay, that's a serious productivity boost. And speaking of things that eat up my time, I have photos.
Right.
We know Apple loves a good photo feature, and it looks like they're going all in with Apple Intelligence.
Oh, absolutely. Remember Memories, where your phone makes those photo montages. Well, now you can use like actual sentences to tell it what you want. Like imagine wanting a montage of just the beach pictures from your trip with reggae music. You just describe it and Apple Intelligence does it.
That's cool, but I feel like I've heard that before. What makes this different?
It's the intelligence part. This isn't just putting photos together. It actually understands what's in them. Imagine searching for a photo, but instead of using dates, you can describe it. Pasta, tomato sauce, basil. Apple Intelligence finds that photo.
Now that is impressive. Oh, and what about those photos where you wish you could just magically remove that random person in the background?
They've got that too. The cleanup tool, it finds distractions in your photos and gets rid of them. But it keeps the important stuff. It knows the difference between a random person and, say, your dog photobombing your selfie.
That is some seriously smart tech, but it's not just text and photos, is it? What about audio?
Oh, they're making moves there too. Notes and phone apps are getting big upgrades. Imagine being on a call and wanting to record it. So you hit record, and now, with Apple Intelligence, not only is it recorded and transcribed, but everyone on the call gets a notification.
No more sneaky recordings. I like it.
Exactly. Plus, you get a summary afterward, highlighting the main points and to-dos. So even if you zone out, Apple Intelligence has your back. It's about tech working for you, not the other way around.
This is seriously futuristic stuff. And this is just the start. But coming up after the break, we're shifting gears a bit to talk about everyone's favorite assistant, Siri. What's changing? And how does it all connect to Apple Intelligence? Stick around. All right, we're back. We've been digging into Apple Intelligence, seeing what it can do, how it might change things. But what about Siri in all of this? She's been our girl for years. Is she getting left behind in this AI revolution?
Not a chance. Siri is actually at the heart of the Apple Intelligence experience. Like,
Yeah.
Siri is getting this massive upgrade. Capabilities, design, the whole package.
Yeah, the press release mentioned a new visual cue for Siri. What's the deal with that?
It's subtle, but kind of cool. Now, when you activate Siri, you get this soft, glowing light on your device, shows you when Siri is listening, processing, all that.
So it's like Siri's got a bit more personality now, a way to actually communicate with us visually.
Exactly. But that visual cue, it's just the beginning. The really cool stuff is happening behind the scenes. Siri's language processing, it's completely different. It's not just recognizing words, it's actually understanding what you mean.
So is Siri finally gonna understand my rambling?
Let's just say Siri's a lot more forgiving now. Handles incomplete sentences, understands the context, even remembers what you talked about before, like a real assistant, getting to know your style, what you need.
Okay, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
But there's always been this thing with Siri, right? She's stuck in the Apple world. Does Apple Intelligence change that at all?
That's the exciting part. They've finally bridged that gap. Siri is plugged into your Apple devices now, all the functionalities. Got a question about your iPhone settings? Need help with a menu on your Mac? Ask Siri.
That alone is huge for a lot of Apple users.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's look ahead a bit. What's coming up for Apple Intelligence? What's next?
The possibilities are pretty wild. Later this year, we've got Image Playground launching. Creative tools powered by Apple Intelligence. One of them, Image Wand, lets you play with your photos in these really intuitive ways. It's almost like magic.
And I heard something about custom emojis. Tell me that's true.
Oh, it's true. Apple Intelligence will make you unique Genmoji based on, your descriptions, even photos. Like, imagine an emoji of your dog's goofy grin. It's endless.
Okay, that's just plain cool. But beyond the fun stuff, what's the bigger picture? What's the end game for Apple Intelligence?
Imagine, right, your devices just working together seamlessly. They know what you need before you do, help you do more than you thought possible. Need to schedule a meeting, but you're swamped. Apple Intelligence checks everyone's availability, finds a time that works. Low on groceries. It makes you a list based on what you usually buy, even places the order for you.
Wow. Okay, that is a powerful vision of the future. But with all this AI stuff, we got to talk about the big question. Privacy. What's Apple doing to make sure our data is safe with all this intelligence floating around?
You're right, that's crucial. And to Apple's credit, they seem to be taking it really seriously. One of the core principles here is on-device processing. A lot of the AI magic happens right there on your device, not in some far-off data center. Your data, your device.
So keeping it close to the vest, so to speak.
Exactly. And for the bigger tasks, the ones your device can't handle alone, they have private cloud compute. But here's the difference. Your data, it's used for the processing, and then it's gone. No storing, no analyzing by Apple.
So take the data, run out, do the thing, and come right back. No hanging out.
Exactly. Plus, they're doing independent code inspections for all the AI stuff, third-party experts making sure their privacy claims are legit.
What about that ChatGPT integration they talked about? What are the privacy implications there?
Good question. Firstly, it's totally optional. You're in control. But even if you use it, Apple's built in strong privacy measures. They mask your IP address, so ChatGPT can't identify you, and they don't store your requests.
So it sounds like Apple's putting their money where their mouth is when it comes to privacy. They're not just saying the right things.
Right. They know people are worried about AI and privacy, and it seems like they're making a real effort to address those concerns.
This has been a wild ride, honestly. A peek into the future of Apple, but also the future of how we live with technology. Apple Intelligence, it's not just a software update, it's a whole new way of thinking about our devices. They become partners, almost, right? But it also makes you wonder, if our devices are doing so much of the thinking, what will we do with the extra time and brain space? Will we get more creative, dive into our passions, or just find new ways to fill the day? Something to think about as we go headfirst into this exciting AI-powered future. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.